So I wasn't going to make a video about this, and at first I didn't. Picked this load up on Tuesday. Today's Wednesday night. Picked it up in Culpeper, Virginia, and drove 547 miles today. We're down here in Georgia. I don't know what the name of the town is we're in. Over at the Pilot off of 59. The only truck stop in Georgia on 59. We pulled in here, shut down for the night. But this thing here was a complete cluster. And you can see a little bit of it behind me. We'll go down the side here. You can see. Let's see how we got this. Yeah. So it's tall, and I got it secured. They did all the securing, they did the loading. Took 8 hours to get it loaded. Wasn't happy about that. I got there at 11:30 in the morning for a 1 o'clock appointment. They didn't start loading me till 2, and I didn't arrive there till 8 o'clock at night to load 3 pieces. That should have took maybe an hour and a half tops. So I was a little jacked, a little pissed off. But that's what you got, I guess. So I didn't get to drive at all. It's going to Laredo, Texas, 1,600 miles, and they want it there Saturday between 8 and 12, which you can't do legally. I couldn't do it anyways, illegally or not. Today's Thursday, we drove 547, we still got 1,140 to go. If I drive 600 tomorrow, I'd leave me about 550 on Saturday, and that would get me there like 6 o'clock at night. We're going to have to do something about that. I'm going to talk to my DM. She'll probably have to change the appointment, or I don't know. It's going to the terminal on the radio, so it might not be that big of a deal what time it gets there. But it ain't going to get there probably before 6 to 7 o'clock on Saturday night. So that's what we got. I can walk around and show you this thing. It's not secured. It's secured DOT legal, but it's not secured Melton legal, if that makes any sense. Anyone that works for Melton knows what Melton wants them to have. But with this load, the way they have it, there's only certain points you can put straps. Other places that I want to put straps, I can't, because it'll end up crushing stuff that's in there. So they had to build them in boxes and using 2x4s and 2x6s. I can only put straps in them areas. So I got enough straps, to secure it. You know what I mean? But it isn't secured up to Melton's standards. That's another reason why I was not going to make a video about this, just to keep myself from getting in trouble. Maybe, I don't know if I'd get in trouble for this or not, but whenever they put the straps in, and the straps can only be at certain points across the load, you can't throw straps anywhere you want. So it is what it is. But let's take a look at this real quick, and then I don't know how much more of this might be all this video consists of. We'll take a look at how I got it strapped and everything, and then I'll see what else I feel like recording, or whatever. We'll go from there. So I got this back piece, and you can see how tall it is. I can't put any straps over the top. So no straps over the top. 3 chains on the bottom. The chain at the back coming up here. Chain there, like I said, they put all these chains on. I just tightened them up and tried to make them as much legal as possible. But the 3 chains, this thing only weighs 5,100 pounds, so that's 12,000 pounds of securement, but I can't put no straps over the top at all, so it's just on the bottom. They got them sitting on 4x4s, and then after I chained it, or after they chained it, I tightened it down. They come back through and screwed these in to the sides. I think on the other side too. So that's what we got, and then I got to use their chains and binders, so these are not my chains and binders. 3 ratchet straps, or ratchet binders, or whatever they're called. And again, they put them chunks of 4x4s, and everything is screwed down to the trailer. All these 4x4s, stuff like that. And again, over here, that's the back piece. This next piece here, this is a machine that's going to Mexico. You can see how tall they are. So that's coming off. I gotta take that I'll have to tape that. They gave me tape to fix it if it gets any holes that's got a hole in it, so I'll have to fix that. So strap goes there, they cut a hole in through it, and it goes through, wraps around something in there, hooks to the other side. And like I said, I can't put any straps over top of there, can't put any straps over top of there. Got a strap here that goes over top of there. They really didn't want that strap there. I told them I needed a strap because I couldn't have a strap there and there with that much space in between it. That's just too much space. So they let me put a strap there, but I can't crank it down real tight because it'll crush that stuff up on top. Got 2 straps in the center there. And then another strap that goes through the plastic here, hooks to the other side. And that's what we got. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, we got 5 straps. This piece here, this long piece, weighs 10,000 pounds. So I got 5 straps, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20,000 pounds of securement holding that piece down. 12,000 pounds of securement holding that piece down. Weighs 5,100 pounds. And over on this side, we got this piece here. And I got 2 straps holding it that come from the other side. This thing weighs 5,000 pounds. And I got 8,000 pounds of securement holding that down here. And again, you can see where they 4x4s and then screwed in 2x4s there to hold them, help hold them in place. And that's where that strap comes through that plastic on the other side, and they use these kind of straps. Like I said, I had to use their securement, their chains, their straps, everything like that. They put everything where they wanted it, and I just came back through and tightened it up when they were done. We were over at the Loves in Alabama. We just crossed the Alabama line out of Georgia where we spent last night, and we pulled into the Loves here. I'm doing my first load check. I only went like 75 miles, and I got a light out. So if you come down here, this is the side trailer light. This one's working, it's on the other side. It's the passenger side light isn't working. So I put in a macro 18, got a code of outside repair, and they said check in with the Loves. So I checked in, I'm first in line, just waiting on them to pull me around to get that light fixed. And then we should be rolling. So anyways, everything's working good with this load, it's running good and everything like that. Not a real heavy load. So I decided that we're going to record some more video. Don't know if I'm going to upload it yet. Probably will. We'll probably wait a little bit and upload it. See what happens. But anyways, I wanted to also say on this load, I was talking about yesterday, that I almost quit on this load. We was over there getting loaded. Like I said, it took them 8 hours to load me. And it was like 6 o'clock in the evening, and them guys wanted to get out of there, obviously, but man, they dicked around. They took 2 lunch breaks, and every like hour and a half they would go take a break. They'd disappear for like half hour, 45 minutes. And that's why it took so long to load it. And once they got it loaded, and we were trying to secure it, and I was trying to get enough straps on it, they were just trying to throw the bare minimum. They wanted to go like 4 or 5 straps on the whole load. And I was like, no, we're gonna need more than that, you know. And so I got them to put a couple extra straps on. And they were a little mad about that. And they were like complaining that it was taking so long to get it strapped down, and I was thinking, well, dude, it took you guys 8 hours to load 3 freaking pieces. You know, if you guys wouldn't have dicked around all day and got it on here, I was here at 11 o'clock, you know, and it's 6:30 in the evening, 7 o'clock at night, and we're still trying to figure out straps. This stuff should have been on it at 3:30 late, at the latest, you know. They didn't start loading me till 2, which I don't understand why that was. And they had me backed in it. As soon as I got there, 11:30, they backed me into where they're gonna load me, and they didn't even come out and start loading me till like 2 o'clock. So, you know, everything about that is just a frustrating day, and it was definitely a day that I was really considering doing something else, going to a different job. But yeah, we got through it. You know, I couldn't drive at all when I got done. It was 8 o'clock till we got it all strapped down and everything. And I pulled out of there. It's like 7:30. I only had like an hour and a half. I think I had like 2.5 hours. But the thing of it was, I pulled around the parking lot and out the gate, and I was still sitting in the parking lot of where they loaded me. and the guy that loaded me had pulled his pickup truck beside me, and he offered me a Pepsi or whatever, and he kind of apologized. He kind of said about how he really screwed me up on driving, and I was like, yeah. He said, you know, he kind of apologized. He didn't really apologize, but he kind of like made a note that said, you know, I really screwed you up, and that you couldn't do any driving today, and all that stuff. And then he found where all the holes in this plastic has to be taped shut. That way the wind don't get in there with the plastic. And there was like 6 holes they forgot to tape. So then he had to take, we sat there for another 35, 40 minutes while he taped all them holes shut. So now my 14-hour clock was still running, obviously. That's not going to stop. So now that 3.5 hours, or 2.5 hours that I had was down to like 1 hour and 20 minutes by the time that happened. I was like, he was like, you can just sit and park there. Had a big parking lot off to the side. He said, you can just pull in there and spend the night if you want to and just leave in the morning. And I was like, yeah, that's probably what I'll do, because there's nothing around. It's in the middle of nowhere. And it was, the closest Love's was 2 hours away, and it only had 85 spots. There wasn't going to be there parking there at 8 o'clock at night. I wouldn't even got there till 10. I didn't have enough time to get there anyways. So I just pulled it in that little parking lot and just spent the night, and then just woke up super early and started driving. So that's what you got. It was just a really frustrating load, frustrating day, and it just put me behind the gun of getting here, getting where I need to be. I sent in a Macros, letting them know I was going to be late. I'm going to call my DM here when she gets in at 7 and let her know, see what she says about that. I think if I can get shut down early enough today's Friday. I picked it up Wednesday. I said earlier in the video I picked it up Tuesday, but I picked it up Wednesday. So if I could have drove Wednesday, I could have got a couple 100 miles Wednesday, then all day Thursday, all day Friday, and then Saturday morning, we'd have definitely made it. But I think if I can get shut down early enough today, I think we can start driving like at 3 in the morning, Saturday morning. We could probably be there by like 1, 2 o'clock Saturday. Which still, they said between 8 and 12. But I think when I talk to her, I think she's going to say that as long as it's there Saturday, we'll be fine. At least that's what I'm hoping she's going to say. Otherwise, it's not going to get there till like 2 o'clock's about the earliest I think I can get there. It also depends on how long it takes to fix this light. You know, so it's coming up on 7 o'clock right now. Hopefully it's just a pretty easy fix and I'm out of here pretty quick, and then we can get down the road, get 9-10 hours in, be about 550 miles out, 500 miles out, start driving like as soon as I can. So as soon as I get parked today, go in the sleeper, start sleeping, and wake up at 3 in the morning. My goal is to wake up start rolling between 3 and 4, and that would put us in Laredo about 1, 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon. And that's about the earliest I can get there. And that's the best case scenario right now. So that's what we're looking at. Got this load checked down. Once we get this bulb fixed, we're back on the road and we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. It's 9:30 in the morning, and I'm still at the Lowe's trying to get my lights fixed. So I got here at 6, hoping I could be the first one in line, and I was the first one in line. My truck right there in the bay behind me. And they had to get approval from Melton. Although Melton told me to come over here, they had to get approval. And they sent the approval to get it approved at like 7:15. It wasn't until 9:15, 2 hours it took them to get it approved. So now, he just started working on it like 10 minutes ago. So we're over here. I wasn't allowed waiting in the truck, so I had to get out of the truck. So I'm over here just hanging out till he gets this thing fixed, but it's kind of ridiculous that I waited 3 hours for a light that's possibly going to take 15 minutes to fix. I don't know how long it's going to take to fix. It might take longer than that, but man, I called Outside Repair to try to find out about the approval, and all they said was that they were short-handed and they'll get to it when they get to it. And that was at like 8:30, and it was another 45 minutes until it actually got approved for them to actually fix the light or attempt to fix the light. So we're still sitting over here in Alabama, just across the state line from Georgia, hoping to get to Louisiana tonight. Crank out about 600, but I don't know if we're going to get that now. But it is what it is. We will get this fixed and hopefully get back on the road and go from there, and we'll see how far we can get. Oh, and I talked to my DM, and it's not that big of a deal since it's going to the Laredo terminal. I can get there, the way she said, anytime Saturday or maybe even Sunday. So we should still get there Saturday. It's just going to be late Saturday till we get there, I think. We'll see what happens today, how long it takes to get this fixed, and how far we can get once we get it fixed. today, and then that'll determine what we got to do tomorrow to get to Laredo. So that's what we're gonna do. We'll see what happens. We were over here in Dewson, Louisiana, and hopefully it's not too loud. We're working on that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about the noise yet, but we drove 588 miles yesterday over here to Dewson. I think that's how I'm saying it right, Louisiana, right to Loves. Got 549 miles. It's saying I can be there in 9 hours. It's 6:30 in the morning, and I think we can be there around 2:33. We got to take a half-hour break though, so it might be 3:30, but should be there before 5, and that's the biggest thing. I want to be there before 5, so I can try to get a load out of there that day, get it strapped, and roll out Sunday morning. That's the plan, but we'll see how that works out. But that's what we got. Not a big update. Checked all my straps. Everything was pretty much tight. Had to fix a couple holes that got in the side of this plastic. Just got done doing that. And we're getting ready to roll. So the sun's over my shoulder, right there. So yeah, that's what we got. We're gonna roll down the road 549 miles, and we'll see you in Laredo, Texas. We made it over here to Laredo. We're at the terminal. A little bit tricky getting in because we're doing construction, but it is hot. It is hot here, real hot. Humidity is real high. It's probably like 110. We got in here, got this trailer dropped. We are off this load now. Someone else is gonna take it. We are done with this crappy load, and we're gonna move on to something else. That's all. That's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.